Hey everyone, this is Tony. So today we're going to be talking about 5 things that happened during the game between the Springboks and the Wallabies over the weekend. 5 things that I took out of the game. It was a very, very, very good game. It was a very good game if you are a Springbok supporter. So let's get to it. The first one was Esterhuizen. Esterhuizen has been playing overseas for quite some time now. I think on the 2019 World Cup, he actually just missed out. And I think one of the major problems is that he only plays one position. And I've seen that's what Jacques and the coaches want, is that players that can play multiple positions. So I think he missed out. But I think with the new game plan that is being employed, which is more attacking, spraying the ball, and you getting your 12 who's starting to be more of a distributor than just a crash ball artist. So DLN has been doing a great job of that, where he was basically, the ninth forward, where you'll crash it up and then recycle quickly so that we can go to the next phase of play. But now, since the Springboks have started to have patterns and running behind two lines, two playmakers, you had Libok, you had Leroux, they've started to use, as a deceptive ploy, they've started to use their 12 as more of a distributor as well. So I think he's coming onto his own. I think when he plays in England at Harlequins, he actually distributes more ball, and he's playing outside Smith. So he's more in an attacking team. The team is more attacking than what Sarivka was. So as soon as Sarivka is moving towards an attacking play, he's coming into his own. And we saw that on Saturday, where he was running, doubling up, running the second line, not the first line, the second wave of line, and attacking on the wide channels. I actually think, if he should continue like this, I think he's got a good chance of actually being picked on the first 11, or first 15, I should say, ahead of Dialende, because he's a better distributor. Dialende used to distribute when he used to play for Western Province, but due to the game and due to him going to play in Munster, I think he's become more entrenched in terms of getting over the gain line. But now Esterhuizen can do a similar job in terms of getting the gain line, but also be able to, distribute and get the ball wide. So I think in terms of a player that can actually, stake a claim for the first 15, I think Esterhuizen has got a good chance. I think we had just to bring this up, we had a similar situation that happened where before, the 2019 World Cup, Marx was much, was entrenched as a number one hooker, but he wasn't really good at, throwing in the line out. So, and Bongi was better in throwing in the line out, but also he was able to, do what Marx could do in an open play, maybe not flashy, but okay. But he could do the hooker's job, which is, throwing the line outs as well as scrum, as well as Marx. So he went ahead of Marx, when it came to the showpiece. And I think this could also happen to what is happening with DLND as well as Esterhuizen. So that's something to look out for. The second thing that I actually picked up was Curtly Arendse is actually, somebody that has just blown. I think last year when he came on, I think his first game was in the second test against Wales. The team that played there, they lost, but they lost in the last, few minutes. But of course, with Sarivka being such a staunch rugby country, people went haywire, it was a bad team to choose, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't that bad, especially for people that hadn't played together for so long or hadn't played together. It was just a team of people that were, players that were actually eager, sometimes over eager to actually prove themselves. But of course, it wasn't, combination wise and stuff like that. So he came in there, but still shone. So he's been given more chances. But now, I really think, especially with Spoon Kosi out, I really think he's angling for the first 15, but I'm most probably going to go as he's going to be, part of the squad rather than the first 15, the A team, if you want to call it that. On the one wing, you've got Kobe, he's nailed it down. And Mampimpi, I think he's nailed it down as well. And there's no way that Mampimpi is not going to the World Cup, man. Jacques as well as Erasmus, they love the guy, so he's definitely going. The question is going to be, is South Africa willing to take a risk and actually put two relatively small wingers, all right, on the sides? That's the major question. But I think if they're willing to do that, then of course RNC is going to actually take Mapimpi's spot, because Mapimpi, as much as he's safe, he's lost a little bit of pace, I think, as well as the confidence is not the same, but he is steady. He's been in the system. He knows what needs to happen. So I'm not sure that they're not gonna. He's gonna go to the World Cup, but is he gonna start? We'll have to see. And the nice thing about Arendse as well is that he covers more than Mapimpi. He covers 14 and 15. So that's gonna give him the ticket to the World Cup. But I'm not sure if it's gonna put him in the first 15. We'll have to see. The third one is Grant Williams. Grant Williams has to go. If that means in terms of the scrum halves, all right? So we've got Grant Williams, Chanchis, de Klerk. We've got the other two guys, sorry, Hendrickson, as well as the guy who started at the beginning. I think that Grant Williams needs to go because he's gonna be good. When he came on Saturday, the Boks were moving faster. He just had speed to the ruck. He was getting the ball out fast. He was snapping around the corner. He keeps the defenders around the corner very, very, very honest. So I think in terms of the fifth one was actually Reina. In terms of Reina, that was what he was being picked for. But now, of course, he's a little bit older, and I think, again, same as Makazole, he's not, it's not a mystery anymore. What he does, I don't think he can snap as well as he used to be able to. And Grant Williams is just, oh man. And I think, there's a chance of actually the Springboks taking 4, I think. 4 actually scrum offs, okay? It's meant to be 3, but I think they've got a chance of taking 4 scrum offs, with Grant Williams actually also, doubling up as for the outside backs as well, because he's flipping fast. But I like him with the scrum off, so I think he needs to go. I don't think they're gonna discard Jaden. They've invested a lot in Jaden in the past two years. There's no way they're gonna discard him. I don't think they're gonna discard de Klerk. He's probably number 1, steady as it goes. But I think as a change-up, I think Williams is actually, because if de Klerk starts, I think Williams is better to come off the bench rather than Reina or Jaden, because Jaden and de Klerk are probably similar in terms of playing style, with the box kicks and steady and making sure that the Boks are playing their old game. But now with the advance and Ninaba trying to spread, the ball a little bit further, I think it's going to be Williams who's going to be on the bench as part of the bomb squad. So that's one to look out for. While we talk about that, let's talk about the new game plan, which is number 4 for me. A lot of people were surprised on Saturday. I watched the games last year, the Irish game at the end of the year, as well as the French game. The Irish game, we're trying to spread the ball, but I would say 80% of the time we're actually back to our strengths, what we used to play. All right. Remember, the Springboks actually wanted to advance their game plan. All right. They wanted to advance the game plan. I remember Jacques and them talking about they want to dominate and advance the game plan. Going into the 2020 season, and then of course the 2020 season never happened because of the big C word. And then all of a sudden they had the Lions tour where they couldn't really experiment, all right? So they went back to try and test it. So now you are left with last year, all right, and this year, or a little bit of this year. So only 1 year was actually there for us to actually push and get the new game plan going. If you remember the game, the French game, all right? The French game, I think one of the players got a red card, and for most of the time we were playing with 14 men. But if you remember, and if you can watch the game again, the guys were running from the back. The guys were not kicking that much. They were not kicking the ball back to the French, So, and for us to actually stay in the game, for so long, right, with less players. I know that Dupont got red carded I think in the 68 minutes, but for 40 minutes we're playing one less person and we're in the game, so that was because the guys were expressing themselves. They weren't kicking the ball back. It was hard yardage, but that's where I started seeing the attacking. So it wasn't from this Saturday. I saw it from the French game, and of course during the Italy game. Still last year, end of year, they blew up and they went wide. A lot of time. I think Libbok actually helped with that, and I think that's another thing that Libbok is helping with the new game. I think on Saturday he didn't really have a good game with kicking out of hand, so that's something that he needs to look into and work on. But all in all, in terms of the new game plan, I think he's more suited to that than Pollard. But of course, similar with de Klerk, you know what you get with Pollard. You know that you're gonna have game management, and we're gonna push and put guys, put the ball behind the defense of the other team and make sure that we put pressure with the wingers. But with the new game plan, I think Libbok is more suited. So it's will be quite interesting that if either of them go in as the starting, we're talking the World Cup now, as a starting 10, will the other one be on the bench? I know that Andre can actually play 12, and there's been talk about that 12, but now you've got Esterhuizen in there. So do you really need Andre? If Libbok's starting, do you really need Andre on the bench? But yeah, we'll see. And the last one is Van Staden. I think Van Staden is actually also another one who's actually booked himself a ticket to the World Cup. When I was looking at the game on Saturday, the only difference is, he's Van Staden, is not Kolisi, but the same game was being played on Saturday. Running on the wide channels, cleaning out, tackling. It was like Sia was on the field. He was playing the exact same game that Sia plays when he plays for the Springboks. And of course, we know that Sia always plays better when he plays for the Springboks. So I was pleasantly surprised. But of course, we also wanted to know, if Sia doesn't recover or he's not on form for the first few games of the World Cup, is there someone who actually going to be able to do his same job? And Van Staden put up his hand and actually showed, he's the one to do it. All in all, there were a lot of positives from the game on Saturday. The one thing that is missing for me is what happens when we're not getting quick ball. As the Australians, seriously, they allowed us to have quick ball, and once you have quick ball, like we saw what happened with the New Zealanders and Argentina, once these teams have quick ball, you can't stop them. Because your forwards and your backs are always moving backwards, and so they're always on their heels, and they can't be, while the other team is going forward at pace, So I want to see what's going to happen over the weekend. I believe that we can take the All Blacks on over the weekend. They're not going to have the quick ball that, the Argentinians, gave them. I think it's going to be a titanic battle, and I hear that there might be a chance that it's actually going to be Willemse that is going to be, playing them the fly half role. So we'll have to see. I would wish that they give Libbok another go. It was his first time starting a game, so maybe he can, calm his nerves now. He's playing a second game in a row. He can get that momentum going. So let's give him a shot, and see how far he goes. But all in all, it was a good experience, a good game, nice to watch. And I don't know, you guys tell me downstairs, what do you guys think? And yeah, all the best. I think I'm going to be, by the way, I'm going to be dropping more videos. I think I'm going to try and drop a video every day or every second day. Yeah, but thanks for the support. Comment below, drop a like, subscribe if you enjoy this. Yeah, thank you. I'm out.